Hello guys, welcome to Code Tree. Today we'll be looking at a problem from the LeetCode 30-day challenge. So the problem that we're looking is minimum path sum. Let's go through the question. So given a m by n grid filled with non-negative integers, find a path from top left to bottom right which minimizes the sum of all numbers along its path. So what this means is you are given a grid and you have to move from top left to bottom right. Okay, and minimizes the sum of all the numbers along its path. So means if you are considering the sum, like if I'm going here, here, then here, here, here. So I went from 1 to 3. So this 1 has a cost of 1 and 3, or 2, 3, here again 3. And if I go here, then again I'll add 5. So it will be 1 plus 3 plus 5. Here, if I go through this path, here I have to add 2. And if I come here, again plus 1. So it will be 1 plus 3, 4, plus 5, 9, plus 2, 11, and plus 1, 12. So this will be the sum of all the numbers along this path. So you should find a path through this grid such that the sum is minimum. And they have also given that you can move only either down or right at any point in time. I mean, it should ideally be any point in grid. Okay. So here, if I want to come here, I can only come from up, that is from here, or from left, that is here. So I can't go diagonally or anything like that. And you want the path with minimum sum. Okay, let's. So this one is a classic dynamic programming problem. I mean, it's one of the easier problems. So if you see why it is so, if I want the minimum sum here, right? So I can come here from top or left. So from here or here, I can come to one. So the answer result at here depends on here, this result which is here and the result which is here. Again, if I want to see here, I can come from top or left, and this position again I can come from top or left. So like that, if it go on recursively till the I mean top left one. So at every position the result depends on the result at the above one and at the left of it. So hence it depends on the previous results, and based on that you can construct the current result. So it's a dynamic programming problem. So at first the code might look little daunting, but when you know what we are doing and why we are doing, then it will be an easy one. So you have to construct a dynamic, I mean DP table basically, and you can even optimize this to have by using only two arrays, which we'll see later on. So these things in the red, they are marked because this is a grid, okay, and these in the red are marked because they have some edge cases when you construct that table. So okay, let's start from here, top left. So the cost of here is to come here. What is the cost that is needed? So I don't have anything at the top or anything at the left. So this cost would be just what is there here. I mean, the cost of that particular grid cell, which is 1. So initially I will put this as 1. And then I'll see to this square how I can calculate. So to come here, I can come from left only. I can't come from above because there is no grid above. So the cost to come here, so this would be the cost that is required to come until the left grid plus the cost of this grid, that is 1, plus the cost of that grid is 3, so it will be 4. And now let's say this grid, so the cost to come here, I can only come here from left, not above. There is no path from above, so it is nothing but the cost to come to the left plus the cost of this grid cell. So here the grid cell is 1 plus the previous one is 4, so it becomes 5. So next will come here. So to come here, I cannot come from left because there's no grid cell here. So I can only come from top. So the cost to come here will be the cost to come to the top cell plus the cost of this grid cell, which is 1, plus the cost of this grid cell is 1, so it will be 2. Okay, now let's see this one. So here the cost to I can come to this square either from above or from left cell. So the cost to come to the above cell is already 4, we have calculated previously, and to come to this left cell already it is 2, which is previously calculated. So the a minimum cost here would be the minimum of these two, right? Minimum of 2 and 4, and I would choose the minimum path. So here to come to this it is 4, and to come to here it is 2. So I would choose this path from here. I'll come to 1, then 2, and then here. So it will be minimum of this 2, which is 2, plus the cost of this cell. So it is 2 plus 5, which is 7. Here again it is the same way. So it will be minimum of this and this, which is 5, plus the cost here, which is 6. So for this cell, now when we see, you can't come from left because there is nothing on the left side, no grid, so no path. So I can only come from above, so which costs us 2, and the cost of current cell, which is 4, which then it becomes 6. And the cost to come here, so that would be a minimum of the 6 and 7, because I already know how much cost it takes to the to come to this cell and this cell, and the only way I can come here is from the above cell or from the left cell. So it is minimum is 6 plus the cost of this cell, which is 2. 6 plus 2, which gives us 8. And here again it is the same, which is the minimum of 6 and 8, which is 6 plus the cost here, which is 1, so it will be 7. So the answer, minimum path from 1 to 7. So this will the minimum cost will be I mean I want to know the cost to come here, right, which is 7. So which is the output here. So this way we can calculate this. So another thing that I can optimize here is when doing all this code. So instead of using this entire table, I mean when the input is larger, you need a very big table. So but here you can see that what I'm using is only this previous row, and to calculate any current row I'm only using the previous row. So to calculate this row I only need this row, and this row or above it are not required. So I can only use these two rows and calculate that. And how we do that is, first I'll create this row and name it as previous row. Using that previous row I'll calculate this row, which is current row, and then I'll swap the previous row with the current row. That, I mean, not exactly swapping, I'll make this previous row point to this row, while and current row I'll calculate this, something like that. At every step you will reinitialize the previous row to the current row, I mean that was calculated, while calculating the next row. You will see it much clearer when we code it. So let's start coding this solution. So first let's construct the entire table and do it, then let's see how to optimize that. So I need a table, a 2D array or a table. So a number of rows in it and columns in it will be the same as this grid table. And the first cell will be initialized from the grid table. So as we see in earlier how we did, why we got that in the earlier explanation. And the first row I have to initialize. These are all the edge cases that we have seen. So this depends on previous. Okay, so this 0th row and this column. So it depends on the previous result and the current grid cost. And next, now I'll calculate for the subsequent rows. This is only for the first row, which is a special case. So here again, this is another special case that we saw, like the first element of every row. So because I don't have any left element, I will just use the upper path. So this is something we have seen in all these rows. This first element I have initialized. Then for all this entire row I calculated using the previous plus the cost on the current grid. So which was this. This was the first initialization. This was how we calculated the first row. And this one, what we are doing here is I am calculating all these things where there is no left. So this should be I and 0, right? Now I'll calculate the rest time in the mid of the table. So here dpij will be a minimum of left and above, right? So this will be above and the left, and you have to add the current grid. And finally you return the last element in the grid. Okay, let's run this code. Oh, what did we miss? Line 5. Okay, here I have to put 0 0, right? Okay, this it should be grid. DP is not yet initialized. Okay, we got the same answer. Let's submit this. Cool, accepted. So now let's see how we can optimize this further. Yeah, let's start. So what we need is two arrays, right? Previous and current. Previous row and the current row I will be needing. So I'll also need this. So I need two rows, that is for previous and current, and we do the same, like previous 0 will be grid 0 0. So this is the same thing that we did here. This one, it will be initialized from grid 0 0, the first cell in the grid. And then I have to calculate the previous row is special case, right? I mean the first row. So I have to calculate this only from the left of it because there are no above elements. So this will be previous of I minus 1 plus only the left of the element and grid, I mean the current grid. So we calculate the previous one. Now I'll simply initialize current to previous. I'll tell you why it is in a minute. So then I have to start how many times I have to do it. It is equal to the number of rows in the grid. So what happens here is, since I'm starting from 1, if I have given only one row like only the one row in the grid, then only previous will be there, current will not have been initialized by this loop, and that is one edge case. So to avoid that, I'll initialize this. If there is only one row, then the current row will be previous and current will be returned, because in the end what we'll be doing is from the current row I'll take the last element, right, this one. So because if there is only one row, this entire loop won't go. To prevent that edge case, I will write this here. And here 0th element, how we get it. So these are all this row, so there is no element to the left, only above one we are considering for that. So previous 0 plus grid. And for the rest of it, okay, he's already there, right? So this will be from previous, minimum to left at minimum at right. So this will be the left one, current j minus, and the above one will be previous, sorry, j. And every time I'll reinitialize this to current, that is the swapping that we have seen. So let's run this code. Okay, we got the same answer. Let's submit it. Cool, let's accept it. Thank you. If you like the video, hit the like button, and please hit the subscribe button to get more updates, and share it among your friends and college mates. Thank you.